All right, this is going to be the recap for Thursday, May 28th. So I'll quickly go over what I saw today and what I took. So first thing coming into the day, I saw that we traded into this daily fair value gap here, and we also swept previous day low, leaving behind previous day high, which was also all-time high. And then from there, we had an SMT out of this daily fair value gap with this 4-hour low. So looking at this, I was leaning pretty bullish after sweeping out this liquidity and reacting out of this, still holding this 4-hour gap and this SMT on the 4-hour. But I was really 50-50 today because if you look at ES, we did have this SMT, but if it'll load, we still had this new week opening gap that we hadn't fully filled. We had still left the CE of this. So there's two scenarios. I thought maybe we can trade higher at open and then come down, sweep out this low and get a long off of this. Something like that, or we just continue higher. So what ended up happening is at open, we pretty much traded higher and swept out Asia high, or we had already swept it, but we reswept this, and then we formed an SMT with ES right here, and then we continued lower. And this made me pretty bearish, seeing how we had this SMT with Asia high. And if you look on ES, we were holding this 1-hour gap right here. So SMT with Asia high and holding this gap made me think, okay, we can at least come somewhere down here, maybe sweep out this 1-hour low, or go ahead and fill the rest of this new week opening gap. And ES still hadn't hit this new week opening gap. So that's what my bias was going into open. And from there, I just decided to wait until 10 a.m. to see if 10 a.m. could open higher into some structure and then continue lower and maybe sweep out these lows here, maybe hit this new week opening gap. So what 10 a.m. did is it opens right here into this 15-minute gap. And on ES, it opens into this 1-hour rejection block, which looked like a really good rejection block to me because it was out of this 1-hour gap and we had this SMT and we were respecting OTE before this happened. We were respecting OTE here of this 1-hour range, which was also OTE of the 4-hour range here. So I saw this. I saw how we opened into this 1-hour rejection block and we swept out this 5-minute high. So we did have a small internal SMT. If you go to the 1-minute, I believe it was with this high. And we had hit the CE of this 15-minute gap. On top of that, we rebalanced the 5-minute range. So looking at the 5-minute time frame, this looked really good for me for a short once we got this 5-minute rejection block here. ES did look a little stronger, but the way this 5-minute closed, it didn't close bearish, but it didn't close super bullish, and you could see it sweeps these two highs, doesn't close above them. So seeing this made me pretty bearish. And then we had this 5-minute rejection block, which wasn't the best close, um, to be honest, but I was still pretty sure about some shorts. And on top of that, we had a pretty good 3-minute rejection block. And this is how the 1 minute's looking. So I viewed this as 10 a.m. opening higher. And I went ahead and entered on this rejection block right around here and targeted these lows and pretty much, oops, get stopped right away. So I saw this and I was still pretty bearish, and I figured this could still be the manipulation higher and we go higher into OTE, or maybe this 15-minute rejection block, because we still had a good bit of room to go higher, maybe fill the rest of this 15-minute. So from there you can see we just kept going higher, and then we get this. And if you go to the 3-minute, we had this 3-minute rejection block, which filled the 15-minute gap and hit this old new day opening gap, which we could use as another confluence for a rejection lower. And we had all these stacked lows here. So I was pretty confident we'll at least come down and sweep this low. So I went ahead and re-entered right here. Targeted this low. And boom. So got stopped pretty much right away. And the reason for this move was some news that we had that came out. Pretty unfortunate, right? Was I was in the trade. But on top of that, maybe this could have worked out if there wasn't news. However, if you look, maybe the higher time frame on NQ, we were reacting off of this 30-minute gap, which could be the reason that we pushed higher. We also had some pretty good 1 hour structure. We had this 1 hour, small 1 hour inversion that we traded into. So I view this as 10 a.m. opening higher, but it really could go both ways today. Because if you look at ES, we also had this 30-minute rejection block out of this 30-minute gap, which I didn't really notice. And at 10 a.m., we actually trade lower into this 30-minute rejection block, which is probably the reason that we went higher off of that. And we did have a small SMT with this 5-minute low, which was also a bit of a data low from 8:30 news this morning with some unemployment claims. So I think today it was pretty hard to read. It really could have gone either way. Um, but looks like this daily fair value gap is gonna push us higher, back up to all-time high, especially if we close above, yeah, 1800 here. So yeah, 2 L's today. Pretty unfortunate that this news comes out right as I'm in the trade. Pretty much was just wrong on direction today. I think longs made sense too. Would just be tricky to enter. Um, yeah, not really sure how you would enter a long. Um, with this 1 minute structure, just doesn't look very good. I would have wanted to see maybe this low get reswept and maybe have an SMT. Yeah, on ES, it would be, yeah, kind of tricky to enter. Maybe take this 5 minute. But yeah, that was today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.